As many of you might know, Detective City of Angels is one of my favourite games, and I'm joined by Evan Derrick to talk about the history of this game. Hi, I'm Julian from BoxedMeeples, and I'm joined by Evan Derrick from Van Ryder Games, and you are the designer of one of my favourite board games ever, Detective City of Angels.
I did design it,
and you're kind of the everything really detective. So, where did you get this idea of this wonderful game? And if people don't know, what is Detective City of Angels?
It is a mystery-solving game set in the 1940s in Los Angeles. So it's very noir-inspired. It feels like playing your own noir film. So that's the quick overview.
Yes.
I played a game called LA Noire from Rockstar, the guys who do Grand Theft Auto, and I love that game. And it has this mechanism in it where you're interrogating suspects and you have to read their facial expressions to figure out if they're lying or whatever. And I wanted to recreate that in a board game. Also, at the time, my wife had a handbag stolen out of her car when she was downtown. Okay. And I went down and put on my little sleuthing cap and found it.
Hero.
So I was just like, that's really cool. That felt really good to solve this little mystery like that in real life. And so I wanted that experience too. So that's really where it came from. And the whole thing with the chisel, one of the characters or one of the players in the game takes on the role of the chisel, and they get to have suspects tell the truth or have them lie. And the detectives have to figure out if they're being lied to, and that's where the psychological element comes from. And you only get that by having another human being sit in and do that.
Well, that's always been the appeal of it, because what's great about acting as the chisel is you're controlling how much fun people are having, and you have that ability to steer people in the right direction. And a lot of the kind of reveal, the prestige of that is tricking the detectives into thinking, okay, now I'm on the right path, even if you know they're not on the right path. And as a role of the chisel, to give everyone a kind of balanced playing field. But there's that interaction between the detectives as well, where you've got the bribery system, so you can find out things that perhaps they know that you now need to know. And then you're trying to trick other detectives as well, and thinking you've got some amazing piece of evidence there to lure them to go there. And that all goes on within just the normal game mechanics of a really sound, excellent game. But all of the cases are based on things that happened in that period. It's not just a kind of 1940s noir overlay. It's all grounded in that. And a lot of that comes from the Vincent Dutrait artwork, of course. There's so much detail on every single one of those cards.
I was very fortunate. Vincent is my favorite artist I've ever worked with. He's not only incredibly talented, he's also a lovely human being. And his work on Detective was just immaculate.
And as the game progresses, there's kind of, each case is individual. I'm trying not to give anything away. Obviously, each case is individual, but there is almost an overarching story that gets slowly revealed, giving you almost like a series style to it, like a proper detective noir-y series. But you don't even realise it's growing until you get to the finale, and it's like, that's how this all comes together. It must have been an absolute nightmare to plan out.
Yeah, it took me, so some of the cases I rewrote and redid 7 or 8 times.
Right.
I think the first one was The Last Embrace, which is the 5th one in the box.
Basically, yeah.
And that one I redid 7 or 8 times because as I was designing the game, the mechanisms began to change and they developed, and I came up with different ways to do things and different things I wanted to do, and so I had to keep revising the cases. So by the time I got to writing The Black King, which was the last one, I knew my system and I knew how to write for it. So all of the expansions, I really had figured out how to write for the game at that point.
And obviously with the different expansions, that's you exploring different styles of it. You know, getting a chance to explore cases that are outside that twist the system a little bit. Yeah. And obviously there's 3 new expansions for that. Any more coming still, or is there still?
Yes, we have one more expansion coming that is, it's actually fan-created cases. that we've tested internally and developed, and we really liked, and so that's going to be the next expansion. It's currently in development,
and that'll bring the curtain down on the kind of whole detective, but leaving opportunities to the future. And maybe
we'll see. I am not probably personally going to, never say never. I'm not going to personally write anymore. I've already done like 20 in this world, so I probably won't make any more in this world. But we've talked about taking the detective system and putting it in another setting.
It's a really great system, and obviously I've enjoyed, as you know, all the cases solo, which I think then prepares you for being the chisel when you're introducing it to other people, because obviously if you know how the cases unfold, there's a better way of playing it with people. And it's so great that it works so well as solo. It does feel like a proper adventure where you're learning things as you're going, and the case slowly gets revealed with these twists and turns as they go, and it was testament to your writing that comes across and feels so cohesive. When that click moment happens, when it all comes together for a solo player particularly, it feels so satisfying when you literally do crack that case. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. And obviously the theme itself, is that a time period you're in love with, or a fondness for that kind of?
Yeah, I have a fondness for, I'm a huge film buff. I have a fondness for film noir and stuff, so yes. And I read James Ellroy's books. He wrote a series, the LA Quartet. He wrote LA Confidential, that's the one most people know.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing film. So I had read through those. I had played the game LA Noir. I'd watched lots of noir, and so I did. I love that setting.
So what's next for you? Is there other areas you want to explore? Is it now moving towards Final Girl, so you contribute towards that? Or
soon, the sky's the limit. I'm not exactly sure. I've got a huge project that I'm getting ready to wrap up probably within the next month. And at that point, I haven't set any plans for myself what I'm gonna design or do. I'm actually really, really, really excited though.
Excellent. But obviously, if you want to know more about Detective City of Angels, they've got a lot more videos on this, particularly on solo play. And if you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing and joining involved in this discussion below. What is your favourite Van Ryder game? Have you played Detective? What's your favourite case? What's your favourite case in the game? What are you most proud of? Can you pick one? It's like picking a child.
It is kind of like picking a child. I really like the Black King a lot.
Yeah.
Probably in the expansions, the Carnival one.
Okay.
I think the twist in that is really neat when you discover what's really going on.
Yes.
I was really proud of that one. So.
Anyway, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.